This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Will, A Wonderful World. In the last episode, we learned about Morse code, and Alicia got sucked into the assassin world once again. Man, just can't. You try to leave, and they just rope you back in. So, anyway, now she's got to deal with her current assassin companion getting killed and just surviving that, and Chang trying to figure out a way to help Lieutenant Kang. So let's see if we can help them with that, shall we? Okay, looks like they've got 8. Both have 8? No, he's got 7. So should be able to figure out. Hey, what's this? Huh? He's got a grayed out thing. We can't get S rank with him this time. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Looks like we're not going to be able to get S rank at this moment, but we can still get whatever we can until we get some new information. So let's just start going from one to the next. Okay, let's see what this gets us. That sounds reasonable. I felt a big hand patting on my back. Hey kid, what are you doing here? I'd heard the footsteps coming towards me, so I stood straight in front of the safe. I pretended that I'd been trying to take some candy from the basket. You give me too much work, so I wanted to take some candy and relax a little bit. Sure. How about we go take a bath? Whoa, hold on, dude. Maybe after dinner. It should be more relaxing. It was already after hours. The spot of the station was quite crowded. Lieutenant Kim was soon chatting and laughing with the other people that were hanging around. I stayed in the corner of the spot and didn't join the others. Yeah, in like a lot of Eastern countries, like most Asian countries for the most part, like going to spas and baths and stuff like that is just a common occurrence. One, because most people don't have the room to put baths in their houses. And two, it's just like, apparently in like a lot of cultures over there, if you like cover yourself up while taking a bath, it's like considered weird because you think you're trying to hide something from yourself, like a disease or something like that. Like it's like a disingenuous or something. At least that's the gist I got from it anyway. I remember the time when I was in the spa with Ted Kang. Oh yeah, that got a little hot. Maybe if it was because of the steam from the spa, but I felt my eyes watering up. And that's it for him. He's just like, nothing happened. Get away from there. It's a bomb. There's a bomb. Man, just some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Zuko screamed and ran towards me. He reached his hand out, trying to pull me away from the locked door. Boom! An explosion. The numerous force moved the door off its hinges, twisted. Okay, that's the same. Missile went straight into my body. She just straight up died in that end. She didn't like survive long enough, that type of thing. So, okay, got one slowly but surely we are getting through this. All right. Something. Let's see. Let's see what this gets us. Get away from there! There's a bomb! Okay, cut a glimpse of the box on the floor of the anti-arsenal. And boom! The bomb smirked into engulfing flame and swallowed me without the door in its way. So another way to die. 1,000 ways to die. Is that show still? I don't even think that show's still on anymore. At least last time I had cable anyway. I think it. Oops. No, that's not what. I don't know why I did that again. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Okay, let's try the all for one and one for all thing, where you just put all on one side and one over the other. Before I could enter the passcode, I could heard clear footsteps coming in my direction. I had no time to check who was coming, so I snuck back to my seat. I took another peek at the mirror at Officer Ji Yeon's desk, and I happened to catch Lieutenant Kim's eyes looking right back at me. I immediately looked away in panic, lowered my head, and continued writing the non-existent report. Lieutenant Kim walked past me and into the bathroom. And thus, nothing happened. Zuko grabbed me from behind and dragged me away from the door that I had just opened, but I caught a glimpse of a box on the floor of the empty arsenal. And then, boom! The box sparked into a flame, swallowing Zuko and me without the door in its way. Yes, we know. We know it's bad ending. We know you need the door there. We're just trying to get all the bad endings, lady. Calm your tits, you know. Anyway. Alright, let's gotta keep entering more stuff. We gotta keep figuring out what we need to do. Okay, now we need to start getting... oh, maybe I need to switch it for him on that one. We'll see if that gets us anything. The door didn't open, even though I did the passcode. The only explanation was Zuko locked it from the inside. He's still in there. Why would he do that? I screamed his name at the door. He yelled from the inside. It's a bomb! I'll get rid of it! Run! However, there wasn't enough time. Torn a million pieces, my torture. Zuko was flying on the air and all the debris. As next met, both my arms and legs are gone. They called me Stumpy now. I knew that I probably didn't have much time. Yet the doctor still bluntly told me the other piece of news. The men. Oh, I never heard that before. Okay. Really, all that's different is that we were informed of it before it actually happened in this case. Okay, so. Okay, we're getting closer to the right solution. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to reset it, but okay. Let's see. Is this one different? Okay, yeah. I should know there was going to be a few on with all on one side that you get different responses. Someone grabbed my neck from behind and choked me. I raised my left. Oh, okay, we see that before. On the ledge, where's baseball cap? Your D goes, they say. Too bad I have to. Oh, your D is good, as I say. Too bad I have to kill you today. The weird sounding man wielded 2 knives and lunged at me. I picked up a fruit knife from the table and tried to block it. Fruit knives aren't as sharp as real knives, dude. We were quite even at first. Then somewhere on the street, I heard what sounded like an explosion. My eyes fell terror just into the window. I suddenly had a bad feeling. My split-second distraction gave my opponent a chance. He stabbed his 2 knives in the arteries in my neck, clean and swift. Could my right? Yep. Too bad for you, lady. You suck. Alright. Okay, trying to see. Now we gotta see if we can get our better. I assume we got numbered indies at this point. At least it seems like it anyway. Okay. That one. Let's see what that. Nope. Maybe I should need to flip his. I've been getting her indies, but not so much his. Zuko wasn't in the arsenal, nor was he in the apartment. Somewhere on the street, I heard what sounded like an explosion. I ran downstairs and heard people screaming and crying in agony. There were injured people everywhere I looked. The source of all the suffering was a small square that had just been wiped out. The food carts that sold beef balls were all gone. A dark red radial. That's not how it sounds, is it? Radial? I think it's radial, I think. Man, I don't know why I'm having trouble with certain words. Scorch marks was left on concrete in the middle of the square. But in the center of darkness, there was nothing. There was nothing left. Okay, let me try swapping his, see if that does anything. Nope, okay. Oops, back down by accident. Okay, so we got... Well, we're her. But we still got a few bad endings with him, and then we've got his... apparently his S ending is blocked at the moment. So we have to figure out how to get that one, but we'll have to get that another day, I guess. Yeah, let me think what combination I can do to get this one. Okay, let's see. There we go. That'll at least get another bad ending for Chang as well. But before I even tried to enter passcode, the door of the safe opened by itself. There was nothing but a note inside. It read dash 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 dash. Mind your own business. I went back to my seat, defeated. What else could I do to help Lieutenant Kang? Apparently they just noticed he'd been watching the whole time. Who can help me now? Oh no. Reggie's sincere. Checked out. Basically they left a note going, ha ha. Zuko grabbed me from behind and dragged me away from the door. Someone was forced with the door off and twisted toward me in pieces, burning, flaming, then flying towards us. Zuko blocked most of the debris from me. His body became almost unrecognizable. So her S ending is him still dying, but he saved her for the most part. Or even saved her from having her arms and legs moved on. He was holding my hand so tight when he died. Zuko was gone. There was no funeral. A couple of his body handlers took care of everything. Oh, Master Reader. I think that means we got 75% of the dictionary stuff. Blue tracksuits, white gloves, black backpacks, and a dark SUV are the trademark of the body handlers, who typically work in a two-person team. The first question is whomever that is their first question to whoever that answers the door is, would you like some flowers? We have white chrysanthemums. Actually, I think I've heard that phrase in like a movie before or something. The answer must be, do you have red ones? How many would you like? 1. Then the duo would take out the right number of body bags from their backpack and offer their condolences before entering the room. Sorry for your loss. If, however, the response is incorrect, or if any of the inquiries about the price of the flowers, the duo would immediately make up an excuse of having left the flowers in their car and leave the scenes as soon as possible. The rules of body handlers are well known among the assassin community. Occasionally they might knock on the wrong door and run into a professional by accident. Then they might be chased off with a scolding. I'm not looking for flowers today. If you come here again, I'm going to send flowers to your place. During the night of the full moon, a few days later, I opened my fist and examined my palm under the moonlight. Zuko gave me one last present. He'd been hiding in his hand before stuffing it into mine when he died. It was a small metal part that he'd taken off the baseball boy's plum. The baseball boy, huh? He's the baseball boy. He's gonna win. I don't know. Alright, what do we... We just gotta figure out his endings. Let's see. Let's see, open the door. Oh, no, you can't do that. We already done that one, right? Did that. Let's see if we can... Let's try the single ones first, see if that gets us anything. That'll at least get us his regular endings. The door didn't open as I had hoped. That was strange. I misremembered the passcode? No, not possible. I'd recorded the passcode yesterday. I'd even checked twice when someone else opened the safe. The last person to use the safe was Lieutenant Kim. Had he noticed my plan, changed the passcode? I went back to my seat, defeated. Okay, so that's... left earlier. Damn it, what can I do? Please Buddha, I'm a sucky cop. Okay. I just got one more with him. Okay. Let's see. I assume opening the door is not a thing. Okay. Open the door. Nope. 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 Just trying to see. I mean, I guess I don't need to do it. Since I don't have his S rank ending, there's no reason to, like, immediately need it right now. I was trying to see if I could... Well, okay, back. We can't finish it anyway because I don't have a... I'm missing, like, either a clue or a storyboard or something like that. See, we can't do that until we finish her thing. I mean, technically, we've done her best ending, but we can't get his yet, so... We'll come back to that one later. I think either like another mission has to unlock or something, or some story has to be done. So let's go on to the one new character, Promise, and back to Lee Win with formula, note, and answers. Let's see what formula, note, and answers. What is this? Whoops. What is this lady up to this time? Sorry, I was checking my recording time there for a second. After being hospitalized for gastritis, I learned from Mr. Wynn that he had never blamed me for the photo incident. He and I were able to go back to how things were, like nothing had happened, like he was never there to begin with. Occasionally, some fools in the school would still gossip about us, but I learned to stop caring and pretend not to hear them at all. I've stopped caring and learned how to love the bomb. As Gao Kao kept getting closer and closer, everyone, including those gossiping idiots, had to focus on the exams. My life was turned into a constant migration between classroom and home. I barely went to the tennis court anymore. Before we knew it, the final simulation exam was upon us. A sense of anxiety filled the entire school. Rumor had that if anyone screwed up on the simulation exam, he or she would be required to stay in school for an intensive study session until 2 days before Gao Kao. It was lunch break. Everyone was sitting in their own seats trying to study for one last time. My phone suddenly buzzed. A text from Jing. Breaking news. Mr. Wynn resigned last week. Sob. I couldn't believe my eyes. I turned around to look at her. She made a sad face. How could it be? Could it be? Our class had been canceled for the last 2 weeks. I'd also been hitting the book, so I didn't realize I hadn't seen him for a while until just now. When I went to my balcony, the light had always been off in his apartment. I thought he'd simply been going to bed early. The exam began in the afternoon. I looked at the paper in my hands, but all I could see was gibberish that was jumping all over the place. What, dyslexia? All I could think about was Mr. Wynn's resignation. Jimmy was really going at it. Half of his paper was hanging off the side of his desk. Oh yeah, the Jimmy who after school went out to become a gamer and also got threatened with pedophilia, even though he didn't actually do it. But the kid thinks that you can just be funny about that type of stuff. I thought that had never occurred to me. Appeared in my head. Should I just copy it? I never cheated in my entire life. If I didn't, I'd have to stay in detention for an extra study session after school. I didn't want to stay. I just wanted to go back home as soon as I could. I took a peek at Miss Yang. She seemed to be lost in her own thoughts. I made up my mind and decided to copy Jimmy's answers. Good old Jimmy! I never knew that Jimmy was such a genius. Never paid much attention to him. Yeah, he's kind of a loser. And Mr. Wynn cucked him, so, I was writing down all of his answers when I felt a tap on my shoulder. Oh no! I had been caught! A note had been left on my desk and asked me to go to the tutoring room after school. After school, Miss Yang met me in the tutoring room. She said nothing about the cheating. She only asked me to stay for the study sessions. During the sessions, I kept staring at my phone, hoping that he would respond to my messages. ... Nothing. It was 11 p.m. when I got home. I knocked on his door softly, no response. I went to check his balcony. The lights were still off. I sat on the floor with my back against the wall, thinking that I'd be able to hear him if he came back in the middle of the night. 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It began to rain outside the window. 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It was almost morning. What should I do if I still couldn't find him tomorrow? I suddenly had a bad feeling. Would I never be able to see him again? You win. Now let's see what this new character has to offer us. Promise. I gotta do another voice. What voice have I done yet? Have I? I haven't done my Irish accent yet, have I? No. Oh, I think I did for like a random character, but this was the last simulation exam that I would be in charge of this year. And Gaokao, the real one, would be coming up next for my students. I unintentionally let out a sigh upon realizing this. The most stressful time of being a head teacher was the school year. Time was always tight and the job was difficult. To make things worse, I still had to watch over these pubescent and rebellious teenagers. Some of them might be over 18, but mentally they're all still just kids. Back in my school day, I only heard about so-called young love. I rarely had seen any student couples. Nowadays, student couples weren't even something worth mentioning. Love triangles, gay relationships, student-teacher relationships, all kinds of stuff can happen nowadays. Well, it's all thanks to them damn VNs. No. Well, I suppose I was already too old to understand kids these days. All I could wish for right now was them to graduate as planned and to leave me a decent graduation rate. You rated they rate their teachers in this world? Is that how that works? Man, I need to go and take a good vacation after the exam. The exams had been handed out and everyone was ready to begin. The bell rang. I walked around the classroom and sat back in the chair next to the lectern. I had been having trouble standing for too long these days. Maybe I've been too tired, or I was just naturally part of getting old. The room felt stuffy. The cicadas outside the window were very noisy. Shut the damn noise! I went outside the window, lost in my thoughts. Somebody coughed loudly. My mind was pulled back. Lee Wen looked a little nervous and his eyes were drifting all over the place. Very few students ever realized how good the view was from up here. I didn't go towards her directly, so I walked out of the classroom and circled behind her through the door in the back of the room. I realized she was copying Jimmy's answers. I left a note. I told Lee Wen to come and meet me in the tutorial room after school, or tutoring room. I didn't intend to talk to her about her cheating. I had no intention of reporting it to the school. I had been teaching her since freshman year in middle school. She'd been through a lot, so I had always looked out for her. While her grades were never the best, her character was bound to be reproached. She was not that kind of student. She hadn't arrived yet. I stood in front of the school window, watching the clouds gathering over the track field. It might rain tonight. I remember the last time I'd seen W. It had also been raining that night. He had asked me to meet him at a coffee shop. He told me that he'd gotten cancer and might not have much longer to live. He decided to resign from the school and leave Beijing, maybe leave the country, at least for a while. He asked me to keep it a secret and if possible take care of all the relevant matters when he was gone. I didn't even know what else to say. I just asked him what he was going to do. I also contacted a doctor I knew and asked him if there were any other feasible treatment plans. Later, he told me he had taken care of things and said goodbye. I watched quietly as I walked away. As soon as he walked out of the coffee shop, I buried my head on the table and cried. I'd always been so self-righteous and self-centered. I wanted to think of and do everything for him, yet I never thought about him or asked him what he would have wanted me to do. That must be why I had to watch him leave over and over again. When we had been kids, our families lived next to each other. We had known each other for as long as I could remember. He was always playing alone in kindergarten. He was never bullied or isolated or anything like that. He was just too smart and too different compared to the other kids of his age. We had gone to the same elementary school, same high school, and the same college. No matter where we were, he always was the best at what he did. And I'd always been so proud to be his best friend. We would call each other by just one letter as our names, as he was W and I was Y. After we graduated from college, he went on to stay abroad, and I started working. I really wanted to go with him. I didn't feel that we were close enough to broach this idea, even though you were been friends for like years. So we parted ways. We began to lose touch when he met his girlfriend abroad. Oh, right, yeah. It was many years later when we finally met again. He lost his fiancée and his spirit had gone with her. His life had become a mess. I nervously suggested he come to teach at my school. When he finally agreed to come, I was so happy, set the blessing again in my heart. However, nothing more happened between us. We could be childhood friends who could talk about anything with each other, but we could never become more than friends. Yeah, it's sad to hear that, but sometimes life is like that, or people just act like that. I never had the courage to tell him how I really felt or how I always felt. I was afraid that if I did, it would have cost us our current relationship. That's usually why most people who are best friends growing up never did go that far. I just wanted to stay beside him, talk with him, and laugh with him. Years had gone by. That 3-word spell that I had hidden inside my heart kept getting buried deeper and deeper, but it never lost its power. It was just getting harder and harder for me to speak those words out loud. I felt myself slowly turning into an utter fool, but I couldn't help myself. Yi Wen had finally come. I didn't ask her for the reason for cheating. I just told her to come to the group study session. No matter why she had cheated, the study session could only help. But I suddenly realized I was being my usual self again. I was making decisions for her without asking her about it. I could have simply asked her to tell me why she had cheated. I suppose I just couldn't change myself, right? Yang. Yeah, the random teacher throughout has her own little story. I assume she's probably a one or two time type of thing. Alright, let's figure out how to solve this little mystery. Oh, we don't have too many options. Oh, good. Oh, boy. Alright, we got the one where you have to split it in between 2 different sections. Great. And one, so I left a note, or, at least those are either one or the other, so that's good. I don't have to worry about that too much. Can that be adjusted like, yep. So we've got either or. Oh, let me reset it real quick and use it. Okay. Okay, that has to be in first place. Oh, wow, we got multiple ones here. Wait, right? Because it says 1 on all those. But yet, there's... Interesting. So we got multiple 1s. Well, I guess all that means is it just has to be before the 2 option there. Ugh. Alright, let me look at what we got. So we got Yang Yings. We got, well, obviously bad endings, but they've got 9 apiece. Wow. At least that's a little bit easier, because usually we'll probably get their bad endings back to back, hopefully, if we do things right. Let me think. Think. Okay, and then, oops. Oh, that can't go there anyway. So anyway, okay. Yeah, it seems bad, but then when you kind of think about it, you're like, okay, it's a little nasty, but nothing we can't handle. Why would he resign? Did he not like his job, or was it because of? My mind was drifting further and farther away. Reading Belfin exam pulled me back to reality. I couldn't even look at myself when I turned to the paper. I only solved 2 problems. I left a note. After school, Miss Yang came into the tutoring room as expected. Anything I can help you with? Well, Miss Yang, do you know why Mr. Wen resigned? Miss Yang gave me a look. I thought you were about to ask me about your grades this time. Take a look at your own paper. I picked it up. It was a disaster. I actually don't know what's going through you kids' minds these days. Miss Yang gave me quite a tongue lashing. That sucked. I looked at Yi Wen, who was sitting by the window. She seemed to be staring at the test blankly. Was it really so hard? A note had been left on my desk asking me to go to the tutoring room after school. After school, I came to the tutoring room as Yi Wen had asked. I knew many senior students were going through a lot of pressure, but there was probably less than 10 students who were willing to talk to their teachers about it. Nevertheless, I was sure that Yi Wen had come looking for me. However, she was not here to discuss the pressure of the exam or going to college. Said she asked me about W's abrupt resignation. I was a little unprepared, but I still remembered what I promised him. I cleared my thoughts, took out her test for today, and showed it to her. I had to let her know that. Cao was right upon us. It was the only thing that mattered right now. She should not be thinking about anything else. Definitely not that. Her face turned red and white and red again. I could still feel the awkwardness in the air after she left the room. I knew I might be breaking her heart, but I had to do it. Debbie would have done the same. Yeah, probably would have. That's her C ending, huh? Where she's like, get back to work! Yeah, you can tell she's not... Well, maybe not optional per se, but she's not a major influence because her block is a bit differently from the others. I guess white just means it's a point, but anyway. Alright, what do we got this time? Let's see. Got her C ending. Got her... Okay. Let's see. Oops. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, let's try that one. Well, luckily, most of just me moving just anything around will get me something. I thought that the thought that never occurred to me appeared in my head. Should I just copy it? But I never cheated my entire life. Okay, I think that's, let's see, was there thoughts? Decided to copy the answers. Oh, I think he said something about genius. No one would never mind it. The time for exams soon ran out. I took another exercise book after the exam, but my mom wasn't in it. I left a note. After school, Miss Yen came to the tutoring room as expected. I confessed to her about everything involved in cheating on the exam. She crossed her arms in front of her and stared in my eyes. Why did you do it? Because I couldn't solve any of the problems. She kept staring at me with an even more intense look. It wasn't a hard exam, at least not for you. I couldn't focus. I have somewhere that I thought I have to be tonight, so I was worried about having to stay for study sessions. I couldn't think of anything convincing lies around the spot, so I told Miss Yen the truth about everything. About why I couldn't solve the problems. About why I was unwilling to stay after school. Even the truth about him. I fell into silence when I finished. I grabbed onto my skirt tightly and lowered my head. I couldn't look Miss Yen in the eye. Aren't you neighbors? You should be able to see him anytime you want, right? I just have a feeling that I have to. I must see him as soon as I can, otherwise I might... I have no idea what I'm talking about. But Miss Yang laughed. She was laughing, but tears were coming out of her eyes. Kids these days, I'm really envious of you. You know what? I guess you could call it a sixth sense. Mr. Wynn, he's got cancer. Wow, she just straight up tells him in this version of the story. Miss Yang wiped away her tears. Stomach cancer, late stage. Ooh. When my mind came back from wondering, the bell signaling the end of the exams had just rung. Everything had gone well. A note had been left on my desk asking me to go to the tutoring room after school. After school, I came to the tutoring room as Lee Wynn had asked. I knew many students were going through a lot of pressure. I probably less. Okay. Oh, we were chatting casually about the day's test when she suddenly started crying. She was stopping when she told me she had cheated during the exam. What surprised me most was her reason. I was at a loss. Once upon a time, I might have had the same honesty and courage as she had, but at some point I turned into this middle-aged woman who'd be gossiping about other people in the office. I knew it was just a waste of time. I knew those fake compliments we kept telling each other meant absolutely nothing. I'd still locked myself into the mundane life, day after day after day. That day Lee Wynn and I talked so much, like we were truly best friends. About cheating, about Cao, about W. Sorry, W. I broke my promise. Ah, you broke your promise! How dare you! Whoops, I actually pressed them. Okay, anyway, back to that again. Sorry about that. I pressed the buttons and it kicked me out! Okay, so... Alright, so we got... Oh, she only has one bad ending and the rest of them are numbered? Huh, that's interesting. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let me think what else I can do. No. We got a lot of options, I just have to figure it out. Let's see. Okay. How about... Okay, how about this? That should give us something. I took a peek at Miss Yang. She was looking out the window and seemed to be lost in her own thoughts. What was she thinking about? Could it be also about Mr. Wynn's resignation? Why the hell was I thinking about that? I was such an idiot. I stared at the paper as hard as I could, but I still couldn't focus. How pathetic. What should I do? If only there was something to help me focus on the exam. Time for the exam soon ran out. I could already see myself sitting in a mandatory study session after school. I left a note. After school, Miss Yang came into the tutor room as expected. Anything I can help you with? Well, Miss Yang, do you know why? Okay, let's give me a look. Open your paper. It's a disaster. Okay, so it's the same, just slightly different instead of just not even doing the test, basically. Just when mine came back for wondering, the bell signaled the end of the exam was just wrong. Everything gone well. I know I've been left on my desk, asked me to the tutor room. Leave me as pressure. Not to discuss the college or exam. She asked me at the examination, or resignation. I was a little unprepared, but I still remember I promised him. Show it to her, yeah. Praise to Ren. Okay. That's still the C ending for her, despite... Wait, that's kind of weird how she... Oh, unless she has multiple C endings. Oh, she does. Well then. Okay, so anyway. Okay, that was from... I left a note. Let's see. Okay, let's try that. Alright, let's see what that gets us. Why would he resign? Let's see, that's my mind drifted farther away. 2 problems. Asked me, after school, Miss Yang was waiting for me in the tutor room. She told me I did extremely poorly this time, that I had to stay for study sessions today. During the session, I kept staring at my phone, hoping they respond to my messages. Oh, that's the same. Not checked him. In the rain, almost morning. Okay, just another slight difference. Staring. Okay. I looked at Yi Wen. She was sitting by the window. She seemed to be staring at her test blankly. It wasn't really so hard. Okay. She did unusually poorly today. Almost dropping to the bottom of the class. It was very unusual. Li Wen had been through a lot with her own family. Since Gaokao was almost modest as her teacher, I decided to give her some tough love. However, no matter how hard I scolded her, she was barely paying attention. Other than the occasional yes and she didn't look like she was listening at all, not to mention self-reflecting. Especially shouldn't go overboard either. I figured I had said that I wanted to, so I sent her back to the group study session. I shouldn't wind her up too much tight. Okay. So another bad ending. Oops. Bad ending and a B ending for her. Cool. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? I think I haven't done that one by itself yet. Let's see if that gets us. Okay. Yeah, I think we get a result anyway because it seems like this specific one Miss Yang has to like respond to her, so they always have to be in tandem. So I think we're gonna solve them no matter what we do. I think. Took a peek at Miss Yang, she was staring right back at me. I was so startled that I almost jumped, and suddenly I couldn't understand the questions on the exam again. Thank goodness. Whatever, I need to finish the exam first before worrying about anything else. If I screwed this up, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere after school. Note had been left on my desk, asking me to go to the tutor room. After school, Miss Yang was waiting for me in the tutor room. She told me I did exceptionally well this time and encouraged me to keep it up. She even told me that if I need any advice or help with anything in life, I should feel free to talk to her. I kept thinking about her words on my way home. That was the first time she had ever said anything like that to me. It felt a little strange. It wasn't too late when I got home. I knocked on the door softly, no response. I sent some more texts, no responses either. His lights were off the whole evening, too. I looked at Yi Wen, who was sitting by the window. She was looking back at me. She should be focusing on her tests. I shook my head and signaled to her to get back to the test. She lowered her head. Half an hour later, the exam was over. I left a note. I asked Yi Wen to come meet me in the tutoring room after school. I knew many senior students. Okay. Agreed to each other. I told her she had done well in today's test to keep it up for Gaokao in a few days. She's barely paying attention, though. She seemed distracted. She wasn't following the conversation the whole time. I figured I'd said what I wanted to say, so I sent her off. And then I saw her from the window running out of the school like an innocent little deer. That kid, she didn't have a worry in the world, did she? Well, I'll make sure to keep my promise. Oh, that's the rank A's on both of them, huh? Huh. Neat. Okay. So, looks like we got a few more options to go there. Looks like it's not going to be easy to get the best rank with both characters, but we will. So on the next episode, Will, A Wonderful World, will finish their interactions and see how we can figure out to get the A rank from Chang on his little storyboard. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.